Fight Time Network. Welcome back to Fight Time Network, y'all. How are you doing, Lee?
Good, man. We're coming off a fantastic weekend. We nailed it in the PFL. We went 6-1. We cashed like four underdogs. We got Thad Jean plus 140. We had like a plus 200 in there, and that one German guy, I'm forgetting his name, had some more plus money coming your way. We cashed a big one with Borix. UFC, not so good, but it balanced out. We made profit. If you're betting on all angles of MMA, you're in a profitable weekend.
Hell yeah. That is what I'm talking about. UFC is heading to Baku this Saturday, headlining with Jamal Hill and Khalil Rountree. Before we break this down, this video is brought to you by TKO Roofing out of the Cleveland area in Ohio. Don't let your roof be the underdog. Call TKO Roofing today. Starting out this card, Muhammad Naimov, 12-3 versus Bogdan Grad, 15-2. This is a little bit tricky here, Lee. Bogdan Grad, has made his way up to the Contender Series, ended up losing, if I am correct. Ends up getting another few wins on the local scene. Comes back up, gets a win on the Contender Series. Am I correct?
Yeah. He came in through second time, and he got that win, and finally got that call, and had that breakout performance against Lucas Alexander.
Mm-hmm. Knockout, round 2, finished him from mount, which you don't get to see much nowadays. I never really noticed that until the other day. I was like, man, when's the last time you saw a good, just ground and pound style ever anymore? Usually, they're scared to take mount or they get bucked off. They're too defensive. They just don't come down and do it anymore, man. Oh,
It's
another
hard to pin
L on
somebody,
this.
but Bogdan Grad will certainly get you tired enough to do so.
You are not kidding. And he is coming up against Muhammad Naimov, which really coming off a decent win over Offley, decision, lost to Lima, beat Silva almost pretty much a couple years back now, roughly a year and a half. What do you think on this one, Lee? You think Naimov wrestling is going to overcome Bogdan
You know what? I
striking?
don't think so. I think there's a lot of value in Bogdan Grad at plus 200. The performance that we saw Naimov go against Ofli, although he edged it out, I thought I saw a lot of stuff that I ultimately thought that Ofli would exploit with Naimov. I think Bogdan Grad's going to be the guy that comes forward and does what I thought Ofli would. I think Bogdan Grad's got the answers to do that from Lucas Alexander, where Lucas Alexander was coming off that performance that he had previously.
True.
That round 2 finish was insane. It definitely ruined the momentum that Lucas Alexander had just built up. And I think he's going to do the same with Naimov. I think he's got the answers that Offley did not.
Huh?
Oh, did it mute?
Must have been accidentally. It did not.
Yeah, no, that I finished. I was done. That was done.
Gotcha. So I just feel like Bogdan Grad, he's going to really push the pace and lead this fight and pretty much overwhelm Naimov because he has shown great takedown defense, and I just don't really see Naimov being able to outstrike him on the feet. From just what I've seen from his last fight and his great win over Alexander, he looked really good. I wouldn't necessarily say this would go to a finish. I think, both these dudes really need this win. Because you look back at Naimov, what Nathaniel Wood, that's probably one of his worst appearances. And he got caught cheating 2 or 3 times roughly in that fight. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Bogdan Grad on this one, most definitely.
Yeah, I think it's a good favorite. He's sitting at plus 200 right now. Hop on that. That line will definitely probably move before the fight starts. So 2-1's not a bad value for Bogdan Grad.
Oh, facts, Lee. Preach it. Send it. Send
Yeah.
it. Moving on to Muhammad. Wow. Retarded, Brendan. Moving on to Nazim Sadikov, 10 and 1 against Nicholas Mota. I feel like this is on the main card this weekend. Is probably one of the most one-sided for me personally. I think
Yeah, I
Nazim's
totally
gonna really just
get him.
outshine Mota in almost every angle and push the pace. Beat him
Yeah,
up.
absolutely.
Sadikov's gonna be really good at keeping his distance. Very big, kickboxer. And Mota just kind of takes shots, man, when he doesn't need to be as it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Coming off a bomb theme win from Sadikov, draw, beat Terrence McKinney, Elder, Hazanzada. I mean, Nicholas Mota has shown what it takes to make it to this particular level, but to climb that ladder, I don't think he has what it takes. And watch him upset Sadikov somehow in style. It's usually how it's been going for me lately, but I'm going to take Sadikov here. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I agree with you. I like Sadikov in this matchup. He's coming in with a boatload of confidence after picking the one shot that ended Ismail Bonfim's night. Like, he wasn't winning the pressure game with Bonfim by any means, and he was able to find the one shot that shut his eye, broke his nose, and ultimately ended his night. So Ismail Bonfim is defensively sound. He did not make a single mistake in that fight other than getting kicked in the head by Sadikov, and that's all it took. So I think we've seen Mota fight. He's going to come out swinging, that's for sure, but he's not going to approach Sadikov as defenseless and as defensively sound as Bonfim did. And if
Yeah.
Sadikov's able to finish Bonfim with that defensive sound from one shot, I mean, he didn't knock him out. It just, broke up his face, but I think he's going to hit Mota with a lot more of one of those shots, and we could see the damage that it can do. So on one shot that was partially blocked. So
Yeah.
ultimately, when they start getting through, I think it's Sadikov's night all night long.
Moving on to Tofik Musayev, 22 and 5, a little rising star coming to the big stage against Miktai Beck, a roll by. I feel, oh boy, I really feel that Rollby is going to run into a decision here over 3 rounds. I mean, his fight with Rebecca, fight of the year contender. I feel like Rollby is going to win his way to decision through wrestling and grappling over Musayev. Unless Musayev can somehow keep this on the feet, I see it going to decision in a Rollby. Because a Rollby is
Yeah.
really good at grappling, but he does very terrible job. The way he fights, he does not have a gas tank for. So if he wins the first 2 rounds, Musayev's going to be kind of tired too. Because how many people of that style do you run into outside of the UFC either? Being
Yeah,
able to smother
absolutely.
you and things like that. What's your thought on this? You think Musayev's got it over rolled by or vice versa?
No, I think Oral By lost a lot of stock with me after that Rebecca fight. I thought he would
I
do a
bet.
lot better than he did in that, so it made me ask a few questions about him. But with this fight, facts are facts, though. It may have just been one of those nights that Rebecca was completely locked in. But Oral By's younger; he's 27, and Musayev is 35. He's coming in from Bellator, and a 35-year-old coming in from Bellator facing a 27-year-old that
Yeah.
has to prove himself now after that loss for Rebecca. Oralby's coming in with the youth and all the tenacity and the he's on the precipice of the ladder as opposed to sort of at the end of it, coming into a different organization, and he made his way directly through the UFC. So I think Oralby has this one significantly. I think it's gonna, all the regular factors are in place: age, experience in other organizations.
Mm-hmm.
And, we have not seen the best performances out of Bellator fighters coming to the UFC, especially older than 35, and taking out somebody 8 years younger that has a point to prove. It's probably not going to work in your favor.
Yeah, you pointed out even a couple more things. You think a roll by will push a finish to try to recoup that Rebecca little, or you think he's just going to squeak his way to a decision?
I think he's a tenacious 27-year-old with something to prove. So I mean, when I think this is the matchup for him to do it if he's going to.
Hell yeah. A roll by decision with me. Might even roll that into possibly a Bogdan Grad parlay.
Yeah.
Moving on to our heavyweight bout. Curtis Blades, 18-5, coming in against Rizvan Kunyev, 12-2-1. This fight has been in the making for almost a year now. If I'm in something like that, it's been a hot minute, at least 6 months. Kunyev did end up beating Fajeda, the big PFL star that ended up getting knocked out by Ngannou, but ended up testing through the roof with enough roids and performance-enhancing drugs to kill a horse. But do you think that's why Curtis Blades has maybe been pushing this back, making sure he's fully off that juice, no extra whatever? I mean, Kunayev is coming in and fighting a top five prospect in the UFC of Curtis Blades, and Curtis Blades has been up there 6 to 8 years, top five, never fell below. I'm gonna take Curtis Blades on this one here. What's your thoughts?
I'm on the other end. When they first announced this fight, I like Kuniev to begin with. He was at pretty well the same odds at plus 225. I think there's great value in the momentum that's coming off of him. He's the bigger guy. He can stay on his feet. He hits very, very hard. He's got grappling. He's got a great rear naked choke finish that I think he's seen maybe on the Contender Series, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, I think he's got the frame, the grappling skills to stay away from trouble with Curtis Blades, and the hands to finish him. I think he's gonna, like I thought last time, I think he can finish Curtis Blades. I think it's in that Blades is not feeling the most confident after his last performances, even though it's against some of the top guys in the division, like Tom Aspinall. However,
Pavlovich,
I
yep.
think Kuniev is going to starch him, and I think Blades is not going to be able to get in on him, and that's gonna either we see the end of the fight or we see it consistently. I can't see this one going too far deep, anyways. But yeah,
Right.
I think Blades is going to have a hard time getting him to the ground, and it's going to result in a knockout for Kuniev.
We'll see. I'm probably gonna put my money on Blades, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
I just feel like, man, you using that many performance enhancing drugs and things like that, and then not going with him, and this being like one of his first huge fights. I don't know. I just feel like Curtis Blades has one more in him as a gatekeeper in the top five. Maybe we see who he comes up against next, but really, we'll see, I guess. Hales, yeah, that's a big heavyweight fight too. Hopefully, someone gets slept bad.
Yeah, it's got all the potential for that. Like, I mean, Kuniev hits hard. Curtis Blades, he may got the wrestling, but I don't think it's going to work. I think Curtis Blades' regular game plan is going to fail against Kuniev. I think he's the stronger guy, the bigger
Thrashing him.
guy, and I think he's going to find a way for those hands to connect off of avoiding the wrestling of Curtis Blades.
Feel you on that one. This next banger coming up. It could be fight or flight. We'll see. Rafael Faziev, 12-4, coming up against Ignacio Bahamondes, 17-5. Oh, unfortunately, I'm gonna take Faziev dropping two straight here. Or fuck, that's gonna be four straight, bud.
Or
Oh, he needs to somehow cut to 45. He is such a small 55er in this game against 27-year-old Bahamondes, 6'2", 75.5-inch reach against 5'7", 71.5-inch reach Faziev. Bahamondes has been very good in his style in being able to keep his distance, and he's already the bigger guy. I mean, you could always see Faziev coming in and making it. The only way he can do this is turn it into a very dirty fight, keep things in the pocket. I mean, don't get me wrong, Faziev can throw some mean shots on the inside, but I really don't even see this going to the ground. So I'm gonna take Bahamondes on this one.
Yeah. And even if it does go to the ground, I mean, that's where Bahamondes will ultimately prevail there. I mean, he's coming off
Yeah,
a triangle choke against Jalen Turner, which was just
nasty.
wild, which we did like he retired Jalen Turner with a triangle choke. Everybody thought Manuel Torres was the better striker and he slept him within a round.
Yeah.
He's got submission victories against hard, heavy hitters like Rongzu. Rongzu he just beat 8-0 Cody Steele. And, he's able to get guys like these to the grounds and finish them with an uncommon submission, which is a Bravo choke where you basically push the guy's shoulder into the carotid artery with your forearms. So he's got the ability to finish everywhere. And I think the last 3 fights that Fiziev have put some major
Oh yeah.
miles on his odometer fight wise. He's got 2 against Justin Gaethje and then 1 where he suffered a massive injury in a fight with Mateus Gamrot.
Yeah.
So guarantee you those rounds with Gaethje definitely took a few years off. And I mean, coming back from an injury, Bahamondes is, still got the pith and vinegar and all the confidence in the world coming off with 3 straight round 1 finishes, head kick, sleeping Manuel Torres, and choking out Jalen Turner from the
On
back.
round
So,
one. Yeah.
yeah, Bahamondes definitely. He's got this covered from all angles, and I mean, he can take it elsewhere if he's losing a striking with Fiziev.
100%. You pretty much hit every angle you could do there. Only, yeah. I just don't see Faziev being able to close that distance good enough. And if he does, what's he going to do once he gets inside and then Bahamondes puts his hands on him? Because Bahamondes ain't going to just stand there in the pocket and
Yeah,
trade with Faziev. That is not going to happen.
yeah, you can't blame him.
I mean, it's just not how Bahamondes fights.
Yeah,
If he gets up into that, if Faziev can somehow keep getting into that zone though, and Bahamondes' timing is way off, Faziev could find his way into a W here. But I just don't see him able to continuously be able to do that against
yeah.
Bahamondes because he's not going to
Those
be able to
long,
walk him down. It's not
those
the way
long
he
limbs of
fights.
Bahamondes are going to be a pain in the ass no matter where the fight goes. Like
Yep.
Fiziev has constantly got to get past that long ass front arm and worry about it clinching up to you and where that'll go from that situation too. So it's a lot more to worry about for Fiziev, and I think the Bahamondes camp's definitely going to have the blueprint of what they see with the past 2 fights with Gaethje.
I agree. Before we get to our main event, one more shout out here to TKO Roofing out of Cleveland, Ohio. Cody Wilson, the 145-pound champ in Cage Thunder, runs this bad boy. So if you want good and hard work done on your household, make sure you call TKO Roofing today. For your main event of UFC Baku, Jamal Hill, 12-3 against Khalil Rountree, 14-6. Truthfully, it's a pretty trash main event for my cord, but I don't like John. Never really liked Jamal Hill. I feel like he was kind of front ran up against Texera back when. I think a few things just fell in his favor. And I mean, he's kind of not looked very good since. Khalil Rountree coming off literally almost facial reconstruction and all whatever else was busted in his body from taking on Pereira and getting knocked out in the fourth round. Fourth round.
Fourth round, yeah.
Get knocked out in the fourth round, which it was literally just a battle back and forth for 20 dang minutes against one of the most lethal strikers in the league. And Jamal Hill only took one of those bad boys in the first round. Oh, I can't. I'm never going to pick Jamal Hill to win. So I'm taking Roundtree.
Think so?
I think he's just fireworks with loose smoke. Oh,
It's like, actually, man, going back, it's not bad odds on Bahamondes. It's like minus 125, but it's plus 110 on Jamal Hill, and I kind of like that value there.
I hope he doesn't win. I mean, here's where I'm at, truthfully. Jamal Hill, yes, let's just speak real here. He's really good on his feet. He has a really funky style, and people kind of walk into certain situations where they wouldn't normally end up in the cage with him just because of his weird style. I'm not going to take nothing against him. I mean, on his feet, Jamal Hill is a striking clinic. He does really good accuracy. He doesn't throw really unnecessary punches on his feet. I mean, yes, he took a loss to Pereira. Got Prohaska was just freaking samurai Genji that night. I love him watching him fight. He doesn't block with his hands, he blocks with his moves. Prohaska, the yin, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean, I'm not gonna take anything away from him. Yeah, Texera was older, but he still did beat Prohaska to win that title. So you can't take anything from Jamal Hill actually taking. No, he ended up getting choked out by Prohaska. Who Texera beat to win the title? Oh,
He beat Yuri, choked out Yuri in the last minute of the fifth round.
Prohaska choked him out at one point. Yeah, I made a lot of
Oh
money on this, dude.
yeah. I had it backwards.
Yeah, you had it backwards. I'm trying to
No,
figure out
sorry. Teixeira choked out Blahovic to win it.
Blachowicz. Yeah,
Yeah.
true that to win the title. And then Jamal Hill took it. So you can't really take anything away from Jamal Hill. I know I just don't like him. I just don't like his attitude and how he talks, blah, 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 whatever. But truthfully, if Khalil Rountree, just from what it looks like on paper, can't get this to the ground, he might be in trouble over the rounds. Not necessarily get slept. Because, I mean, there ain't nobody going to hit like Pereira. And once Jamal hits him, he's probably going to feel like someone hit him with a pillow. But
Yeah.
what's your thoughts on this, Lee?
I like Jamal Hill in this. I think the performance that he had against Yuri Prohaska, even I had Yuri, I had major dollars on Yuri, and he had me bite my nails. There was a second time where I'm like, oh man, he's going to get knocked out because, there is still that power in Jamal Hill's hands.
Yeah.
I think Khalil Rountree does not have success against any guy that he's not able to bully. Like you look at Bukowskis, you look at Smith, and you look at the fights. He's a bully fighter, man. He puts the pressure to you, and you know what? Like he wants to make you wince. He wants to throw wild ass shit. You
Hmm.
get to the ground with him, he's just throwing freaking kicks at your body. But with Bukowskis and Smith, he was really able to bully them. He was really able to make them think, and I don't think that's going to be the case with Jamal Hill. I don't think it's in Jamal Hill's wheelhouse to get pushed back. He's going to be fighting for that center, and he that left hook of his almost caught Yuri a couple of times. So I don't know
Yeah.
how Khalil Rountree is going to stand up to that. It's going to be interesting to see what Khalil Rountree's game is when he feels that pushback from Jamal Hill.
Good rundown, Lee. Gonna probably take Roundtree on this, but that's just where I'm at with it. I ain't hoping for Jamal Hill to ever get a dub. My hate is real. Oh well, is what it is. He might end up winning as long as Kyle Roundtree can just not catch out left. Well, that is UFC Fight Night Baku breakdown. Got anything for the fans, Lee?
Yeah, there's lots of stuff going on this weekend. We've got our PFL World Tournament.
Oh,
We did fantastic on PFL. We got some LFA action again, 211 coming at you, back to back weekends at LFA. We cashed a great parlay in LFA and UFC. We are coming back strong. There's lots of good money lines. There's a couple of good props. Check our stories on Instagram. Check our winnable. It's going to be in there. And you might even be able to find a deal when we pop on live to get in, get part of the team, start cashing in with us because we're doing it from Friday to Saturday night, sometimes even Thursdays.
there we go. That's what I'm talking about, Lee. See y'all next week.
Boom.
Fight Time Network.